Okay, next little bit. We're heading towards the walled gardens and eventually we've got the dormitory bit. So what we can do is, if we're careful, right, this is the precinct wall. This once enclosed the Abbey buildings. The Crown licensed the Abbey in 1338 to fortify itself as protection against French raids. Now, okay, now 1338, weren't we still under sort of French rule? I'll have to check when I get home, but so it's less than 200 years since we were invaded. So this is the main high street again. This is the wall that runs around the outside, which is pretty good nick. It looks like it's been redone at some point, but the actual wall, that part, it's all granite, really rough. Yeah, I remember walking around here last time, watching all the people go by. But over there, we're going to go over there a bit later. I'll find my way there. I think that's all the dorm. I can't say it. Dormitory. There you go. I haven't had a drink for a while. The only drink I've had is the coffee I've had here in the coffee shop, the visitor centre. So I don't know, is that part of the school or not? As you can see, it's got another big church there. Way over there is lovely countryside. It really is lovely countryside, even when you're driving. You're going down like a motorway or an A road, and you just look into the distance and see these rolling hills and forests and massive trees everywhere. It's really nice, I suppose. They do call Kent the Garden of England, don't they? Not the Garden of Eden. Right, okay, I'm going down. I'll go back a little bit so I can see this. Right, these steps are a bit worn, so I'm going to be quite careful. We've got a handrail here, but mostly original steps. Oh, that handrail was roasting. Right, so there we go. So could have walked back that way. So this is precinct wall again, the same sign. It says steep steps and uneven surfaces. Now you tell me. But I knew that anyway. Because I've obviously been here before in 2017. Obviously hasn't changed in a bit at all. But you got all the plants and the roses, and I think it's mainly roses that are growing up here. Got an urn on a plinth, decorated by, hard to tell. What was that? This looks a bit satanic, doesn't it? Is it Baphomet? No, it's Medusa, isn't it? Because that's snakes on the head. So yeah, should I look at her or not? Well, too late. But yeah, snake headdress. Yeah, very cool, impressive. Right, I've got an information plaque here. Right, the precinct wall. The boundary wall next to the Camellia Walk is the best preserved length of the precinct wall that once enclosed the Abbey buildings. The wall was originally completed under Ralph Abbot from 1107 to 1124 to ensure the privacy and seclusion of the monks and as protection against robbers and riots. So probably had a dodgy government back then as well. There you go, random thought of the day. Right, most unusually for a monastery, it has a wall walk, a feature normally associated with 45 towns and castles. Those are loads of loud kids. So this walk was probably added by Abbot Alan de Retling 200 years later. He was responsible for reconstructing the Great Gatehouse at the start of the Hundred Years' War and would have been concerned about the possibilities of French raids and civil unrest. In times of danger, townspeople and others would no doubt have sought shelter in the abbey and helped to man its defences. The wall walk once extended along the whole length of this wall. Right, so that's a picture of how it used to be. Here's another random thought. Remember, like people my age, 60 like ish, just over 60, whatever. At school, they used to show us a program called How We Used to Live. That was really cool. It was like a historical. It was like a drama documentary, really. It's probably one of the first. So yeah, and I remember they did Victorian times was the main one. Anyway, but now the kids are out of the way, we're going to have a look around here. There we go. So we've got big old hedges. Yeah, I remember this bit. Alright, let's have a look over here first. We'll go around the ruins. Right, that's the dormitory, I think, if memory serves. So the grass is actually quite green compared to other places I've been. I did one from Kings Langley Common and it's total brown. So, don't know, is that Latin? Right, so, or was it French? Dans le champ historique de Saint-Lô, tombe le brave Harold le Saxon, the brave Harold, the Saxon, obviously. 837 years after the battle. I don't know, my French isn't that brilliant anymore. Still. So I don't know why that's in French. Okay, Souvenir Normand. This memorial was placed here in August 1903 by the founding members of the Norman Historical Society, Le Souvenir Normand, to commemorate the Battle of Hastings and with the aim to dispel the cloud which hovered over relations with France. Oh dear, considering what's been going on the last few days. It's, I think, have we ever had cordial relations with France? Ever? Right, it was unveiled by the Marquis de Rochellon et Grant in the presence of Lord Brassey, Lord Warden of the Cinque Ports, which is the 5 ports of Kent. It was Hastings one? I don't know. Hastings, Deal, Dover, a couple of others. Right, may God be our aid, the traditional battle cry of the Normans. On the historic field of Senlac, where Felbrave had... Right, so this is a translation of... a proper translation of what is on the inscription on the monument. Right, on the historic field of Senlac, where Felbrave, Harold the Saxon, 837 years after the battle which gave Britain to Normandy, didn't give it to them. The Souvenir Normand, coming from the banks of the Seine, has joyously proclaimed the peace of these sister nations. So I think I saw a sign as I was coming into battle that it was twinned with wherever it says. Doesn't actually say on there, but yeah, we're twinned with somewhere in France, or battle is. It was the thing in the 70s, was it was always getting twinned with someone. I think Kings Langley, where I'm from, we're twinned with about 3 people now, or 3 towns all over the place. I think one's in France, one's in Germany, probably in Botswana or somewhere these days. But yeah, this is the ruins. Not actually sure what they are ruins of. I'll just quickly step up there so you can have a better look. Steps, you can go down there. Shall we? Yeah, I think we should. So I'm going to nip down the steps. My dodgy hamstring. Still not going going to the gym anymore, so just do all this stuff. Get my steps in. Right, we're down in the bottom bit. So, oh, here we go. So this is the crypt chapels. These form part of the late 13th century eastern extension of the Abbey Church. The crypt was originally vaulted. So here we go. So there would have been parts of the building, there would have been a roof. I assume if it's a crypt, there'd be like columns. Yeah, it's quite nice. Right, we're going to go up the other steps. Carry on to the main bit. Right. So that's the end of that bit. Right, so that looks like the back end of the Abbey School. But this bit over here, it's quite nice and cool under the trees here. Yeah, this bit. We go the proper way down the path. At least there's no screaming school kids here at the moment. Let's have another look at the church over there, which does look Norman. We're not far after. So, obviously, I don't think I'll be around, but in about 40 years, we've got the 1000th anniversary of the invasion. So, yeah, I'll be 103. I'm not going to make it, am I? Right, so this is the cloisters. The main abbey buildings were arranged around a cloister on the south side of the church. Sheltered from cold north winds, they would catch the sun. The cloister walks or alleys marked out by the gravel paths enclosed the garden and linked the adjoining buildings. The north alley next to the church was the sunniest and warmest place for reading, study or the copying of manuscripts. So, you know, if you know anything about monks, you know they did copy out all these massive manuscripts, and they took years and years, and they got amazing vivid colours. So it's really like to see one of those in the flesh. So the earliest cloister alleys had simple lean-to or pentis roofs. They were rebuilt in the 12th century, still with open arcades. Cold and draughty in winter. From the mid 13th century, traceried windows replaced these, and the cloister roofs were stone vaulted. Opposite, on the surviving west range, you can see remains of the arcades. The first two bays on the left are the earliest and date from the 13th century. To those to the right belong to a further modernisation and rebuilding in the 15th century. So that would have been the cloisters. The old monks walking up and down. We get a bit of free time, or you know, just sitting there reading, chilling out. Right, now this is the cool bit. We're going to have a shot of the back of the school. Just imagine how privileged you'd have to be and have rich parents to send you here. So this is the chapter house, the remote ruins of the chapter house here, the cloister bays, and right, something's gated off here. Let's have a look. Right, parlour. This was one of the very few rooms where the monks were allowed conversation. It was rebuilt in the 13th century. The doorway in its eastern wall led to the infirmary. So obviously it's all gated now, you can't get in that bit. But hopefully you can see the really amazing columns down there. Look at that. And that has just survived all these years. Right, danger. Please do not climb the walls. Defense de grimper sur le mur. Es ist verboten, über die Mauern des Stegen. Right. just for any foreign viewers, which I doubt. Right, now we're going to go up these steps, hopefully without falling over. They are fairly steep, but at least they're nice and wide or deep. Obviously not Norman. Right, have a quick look before we go in. So obviously a modern drainage system. Right, so there's a sign over here. Let's have a look at that. Right, so this is the dormitory. So I was right. This huge room was the dormitory, or dorta, where the monks slept. It dates to the 13th century and was originally a single open space without any heating. Monks slept communally and their single beds were arranged in rows along the side walls. Oh, the floor was tiled and the walls were covered in white plaster, painted with thin red lines to simulate masonry joints. Clever. The room was lit by the tall, thin lancet windows, the lower parts of which were closed using wooden shutters. In 1369 the roof was covered with wooden shingles, but by the time the abbey was suppressed by Henry VIII in 1538, these had been replaced by tiles. It's obviously like the dissolution of the monasteries when Henry got the ump with the church, and so was this a Catholic sort of monastery? It must have been if Henry had a go at it. Anyway, the small fireplaces date to the late Middle Ages, when the dormitory had probably been divided into individual cubicles, providing the monks with more comfort and privacy. After the suppression of the abbey, the dormitory was used as stables or a barn, with the roof surviving until the 18th century. So that's a picture of it. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare on that, because I'm getting a glare. So the interior of the dormitory looking north. This drawing was made by Samuel Grimm in 1783, shortly before the roof collapsed. So that's a bit of an engineering feat, that roof, isn't it? So yeah, really cool. Right, we're going to do, you see how big this is, and so there must have been dozens of monks here for this dormitory to be this big. So anyway, this is all gravel now, so the floor would have been tiled. You can see the windows were quite narrow, quite tall. Over here, it's got some French people here as well. So I'll beat them up for invading us. Wouldn't do that, would I? So old for starters. Yeah, the windows. Very cool. There's a weather vane on the top of there. I don't think that would have been there at the time, but yeah, if you can look through the windows, you can't see a lot of palm trees really. But try and get a better view out of one of the windows. Let's see this. So that's been bricked up. Don't know why. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Same here. Yeah. Is that? I would think that would be a fireplace, and not a window. Oh look, got some kids down there having a bit of a lesson. It's I didn't see that bit around there, so where we were from the crypts, I'm assuming you go around the corner and you'll see this bit here. So now I can't get into that bit because not only am I too tall, I'm too fat as well. Right, let's have a look through these windows at the beautiful Kent countryside. Nice little view. See. I wonder if the monks stood there looking at the view like I just did. Were they allowed to? There's just like chill out and, you know, have a look. I don't know, these lilacs? I'm not a flower person, but they look nice. Oh, you're filling the drainage ditch. So, right, we're going back on the opposite side. This is all bricked up again. But obviously there was a tall window there. I don't know why they bricked up. And then we're back to the normal windows. Oh man, it's getting really hot now. I'm not sure what the temperature is. I'll have a look on my phone when I've done this little bit. Really should have brought a bottle of water with me as well, or electrolytes. But like an idiot, left them in the car, and they're going to be really, really hot by the time I drink them. And then hope I get home before I need to go. Right, so that's the dormitory. I'm going to turn this off now and check my phone for bits and pieces. So yeah, there's a man doing that laundry. Oh no, what is it? Oh, it's the umbrellas. I don't know. He's struggling, whatever he's doing. It can't be easy, like me, he's in black, so it's not a wise choice. Right, I'm just going to get down the stairs and get out of the way. Yeah, umbrellas. They must be setting them up for something. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off now. I'm going to go around the corner and have a look.